Good evening and welcome back to Just Get a Tesla. The sun has set about an hour ago and it's getting properly dark now. I needed to go out and I just thought I would shoot a video about night driving in the Tesla, including Autopilot, which as you can see I'm running on at the moment. This is a single carriageway road of the kind we get quite a lot of here in Scotland, and the car is doing an absolutely brilliant job of steering itself around the bend. I don't need to worry about it at all. Autopilot, and this is basic Autopilot, really is the best automated driving system certainly that I've used. Much better than Pilot Assist, which the Volvo system was on my S90. Definitely better than the Hyundai system. I can't even remember what that one's called, but it was decent, but it's not like this. This just goes, it steers, it thinks, it keeps you driving quite safely. The speed limit on this road is 60 miles an hour. I've got Autopilot set to 50 just because that feels like a more comfortable speed to go around the sweeping bends that we get on this road. You get a long straight section like this where it's, you know, it can just keep going, but then you do get, you know, a couple of bends which crop up, and 50 is quite comfortable around them. I'm in no hurry, so I don't really feel the need to try and set the thing to go any faster. Just because you've got a Tesla doesn't mean that you have to hoon it everywhere like you are a 19-year-old who's just been given the keys to a Ford Fiesta and thinks he's indestructible. Just relax. You're driving an EV. It's supposed to be a relaxing experience, even if it's a Tesla. On Autopilot, trundling along, I'm really happy. This is safe. This feels completely normal to be sitting here and having the car driving me along in the dark on this kind of road. One feature that gets talked about a lot is auto high beam, which came on then just as I started talking. When you're on Autopilot, auto high beam is enabled, and I thought that you couldn't turn it off, but quite a few people in comments on a previous video said that you can. You just push the stalk forward. Now that is really simple. So I push the stalk forward and it goes back onto automatic, so that's really useful as well. So you can toggle on and off between automatic lights just by nudging the stalk forward once to turn it off, and then nudging it forward once again to turn it back on again. So we're on a couple of more twisty sections of the road. As you can see, the road turns around to the right and it's just onto the left. It's dark, I'm on Autopilot, and there's absolutely no problem at all. Obviously, one thing that probably helps the car is that in the UK at least, we have these things called cat's eyes, which are the little reflectors that you can see going down the centre of the road. I don't think you get that very much in other countries, if at all. And it's one of these quirky British inventions which is literally on every road everywhere. Whoa, that was a deer or something. I don't know whether it had just been hit or what, but I had to really take avoiding action to avoid running it over completely. One thing to note about disengaging auto high beam: every time that you disengage and then re-engage Autopilot, it re-engages auto high beam. So every single time that you double tap down on the right hand stalk to engage Autopilot, you're also then going to have to push the left hand stalk forward to turn it off again. It'd be good if it remembered the setting, but it doesn't. But that is something that can be fixed in software, and one thing Tesla is really good at is pushing out software updates and adding new features, improvements, bug fixes, all of those things, which I've had cars that updated before and you just simply didn't get anything like this. We are coming into Fraserburgh now, and the speed limit changes to 30. The cars in front are braking and I've got my foot covering the brake, but I'm letting the car do its thing and it is slowing me down to this roundabout. I know I'm going to have to take over now because it doesn't do roundabouts. So let's just knock it off, but when we get onto the other side, we'll have a look and see whether we can re-engage it again. So we're going through the roundabout now. I have got it switched off because I'm not completely crazy, but as we get back onto the other side, let's see if we can re-engage. Yes we can. It's a 30-mile-an-hour limit now as we've entered the town. I suspect I will lose autopilot fairly soon as we start getting traffic islands and parked vehicles and that kind of thing. It's drifting quite a lot over to the left as we got a turning area off a side road there, but it's brought us back into the middle. Again, there's no white line on the left hand side of the road, nothing. I'm amazed that it can carry on here, to be honest, because I struggle to see the white line at times under the lighting when people are coming the other way. Okay, it just wandered me across to the left because there was a traffic island coming up ahead. It's taken me quite a long way over to the right to centre me into the lane, which it probably didn't want to do, but we're okay. It's still on autopilot. This is interesting. I really thought it would have switched off by now and said, that's it, I'm done. I'm sure it will in a minute, and if it doesn't, I'm going to do it. Yeah, I'm turning it off because we're in an area where there's parking bays, so the road is suddenly wider, and I don't want it centering the car in one of those and lining me up with somebody's car which is parked. Now then, let's see how far up this road we can actually get. There's a reason I'm driving up here at night time. And there it is. I'm driving up here so that I can put the car in front of the lighthouse. Isn't that cool? How often do you get to see a lighthouse with the light actually spinning around? Let's get out and take a closer look. So this is Kinnaird Lighthouse in Fraserburgh, which stands on top of the hill on the north bit of the town, basically looking out over the North Sea, and every night the light comes on and it's beautiful. Time to go. Let's go for a little drive along the coast. To be fair, under main beam, visibility is really good in the Tesla Model Y. I know that this car is fitted with matrix LEDs, but the software hasn't been enabled for those yet. I've already seen one comment going, your car hasn't got matrix LEDs. Well, it has, it just hasn't switched them on. And that at least is something that you do with a Tesla. They keep updating the software all the time. Over-the-air updates for major feature changes like that, as far as I'm aware, isn't something that Mercedes, BMW, Audi, etc. are doing. And you know, I'm not attacking those brands. I had two BMWs and really liked them. There's some quite narrow bits as you go through this village, and this is quite a wide car. I'd love to see full self-driving, if we ever had it in the UK, coping on roads like this in a little village like this at night. It'd be interesting. So back onto autopilot, although it's quite indistinct on the left and I'm a little bit nervous doing it. It's doing okay. Nope, too fast. Well, too fast for that. this is the kind of sign here, 20 when lights flash, where the car gets confused as to the speeds, and it has changed the speed limit to 20, but it isn't 20, it's 30, because the lights weren't flashing, because it's only a reduced speed limit at school times, and obviously this isn't one of them. So that is software fixable, surely, that it can understand the difference between a permanent speed limit and a switchable one. That road we've just been on, that felt quite narrow. Now obviously this is much narrower, this is a single track road, but it's not quite as confined as the other one, especially when you're getting around some of the bends and there's traffic coming the other way, and it feels quite pinched. This, we fit down this quite nicely, and obviously because it's night time you can see if anything's coming the other way because you'd see their lights. So it's actually easier to drive on this kind of road at night than it is during the day. I don't know whether you can see the bottom of the screen on the camera view that I've got, but it's telling me that at the moment the right pillar, oh no, multiple cameras are now blocked or blinded. I'm not quite sure why that is. I know it happens on and off, but as I understand it, Tesla are shutting down the ultrasonic sensors that are fitted currently to cars and then won't be fitted to them in future, and is just going to rely on all cameras with Tesla Vision, as they're calling it. Well, if you're going to have cameras blocked either by the low sun or in this case by I don't know, then how well is Tesla Vision going to manage if it can't see? So I know obviously that this is another piece of software that they're writing, but how exactly is Tesla Vision going to cope if it can't see out of the cameras, as it's telling me it can't do now? I know this looks narrow, but honestly it feels fine. The car fits down here without any issues. If you're watching this in California and you're used to big wide roads that are quite straight, this might not be fun. And this now is the drop down to New Aberdour Beach, and it's been an interesting drive down the coast. Okay, that's quite narrow. That's a bit of a pinch point, but it has. It's been an interesting drive in the dark, trying to see exactly how good this car is at night on more interesting roads, and it's good. You can see quite well where you're going. You can see where the corners are. It's not a problem. I even enjoyed doing autopilot in the dark on a single carriageway. Not really the bit in the town, that was less fun. Who's actually here? We've got one camper van, and I'm going to park well away from them, and I think that's about it. Whoop. And we're good. And that is it. And I think the only thing really that's left to do as we're sat here by the sea is to let's get cozy. And that is it from Just Get a Tesla on this video, and I will see you again on the next one. Don't forget, like and subscribe. There's plenty more videos to come.